1. Beautiful.
Josh taught you that one, did
He
he?
did. I didn't have a clue what
I
was
listened
going
to
on
last
afterwards. I
week's.
thought he was just being weird. And I was like, oh, that's actually quite
Let's
useful,
go
you know?
Right, I'm going to try the tea.
All right, let's see if it's any good.
Yes, all right. After all that slating I gave you about making
I know. I got so much abuse for that, you little prick.
It's
Why
a good-
is that such a problem?
That's a 7 out of 10 cup of tea. It's all right.
Okay, what can I do to improve it next time?
I'm a big fan of skim milk.
Okay. Full disclosure, Andy was given whole milk, which
Big
he
fan
wasn't
of
very
skimmed
happy of.
milk. Like, whole milk's good.
Yeah.
And I like the creaminess. It's good in coffee. And it's
Mm.
good on your cereal. But in tea, I don't know. It's just the blend of flavours.
I
Semi's the way.
only like tea if it's like a proper builder's tea, so it's real sugary.
Hard man's tea.
Yeah, it's not even it's not hard man. Hard man would just drink it as it is, but it's just I've got it like just make it flavour that isn't tea, then I'll drink it. I don't know. I can't get into it. I don't know why.
Nah,
It's one of those things.
I love it. It's very British.
Mm.
I'm a British guy. So
Well,
it makes sense, right?
That could be why I don't like it then. You know, who knows?
Where were you born?
I was born in Hillingdon in London, but my dad's, so my granddad's from Sri Lanka, so it's not. But again, you get Ceylon tea, so this again.
They love tea that way, don't they?
The argument doesn't really hold up.
Isn't that where like teas started out? I learned, interesting story that places like India, where they would manufacture the tea and like, grow the tea and get it all sorted and send it out.
Yeah.
So green tea is green tea is the normal tea, right? And this English tea, breakfast tea, all that stuff that we drink, your PG tips, that's the nasty, crusty granules that they got they'd sweep it off the floor from the factories.
Okay.
Package that up, sell it to the English mugs, right?
Okay, so the green tea's the nice tea.
Green teas, they're like the nice, fresh, like the good green leaves,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They're
yeah,
still nice and lovely and green. Your tea, how I'm drinking it right now, is mug tea, basically. But who's laughing now? Because
you making good money out of it. I genuinely do feel quite bad actually. I didn't realize that you required certain presets before you came in with the tea. And I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's a million ways to make tea.
Well, that's why I just get confused because it's like I'm trying to think. Yeah, some people like milk and sugar. Some people like sugar, no milk. Some people like just milk. Some people like it's got to be in and out. I don't know what's going on.
I spent a lot of time the last couple of months when you can't go outside perfecting it. And I've even got this. I've set up a shortcut on my phone. So it looks like an app.
Yeah.
Right, you just press this button and it automatically sets my tea timer that I've scheduled. So how long you boil the water for. It's all important. How long you let the water settle before you pour it in. How long you leave it for. It's all very strict and it
I'm sure
makes a
there
big
is
difference.
I'm sure there is an art to it, for sure. And you can be like a tea connoisseur and be like, oh yeah, that one's good, or this came from that region, and there's a problem with that because
Nah, that's too far. That's
you get it was like there's a company I think it's called like Black Rifle Company, Black Rifle Coffee, and they were servicemen who, while they're on tour, always brought like coffee with them. There was like specific ones. They were really particular about how they did it, and they've left the service and created their own coffee brand or their own company, and they know every fucking thing you can know about coffee. And it's like that in particular. I like coffee. I don't know if I like it that much.
I'm a big fan of coffee.
Yeah,
but I'm also a big fan of making things very easy for myself. So I won't go out my way when I can just, when something takes 2 minutes to make, I'd rather do it that way.
Well, that's why that coffee machine is awesome, because it is just water in the back, pod in the top, press it twice, done. Happy days. Whereas because you've met Richard, right?
Yeah, tall guy.
Yeah, so he no, the tall one's Nathan. The bearded ginger is Richard.
Yeah. He's he looks like Rag and Bone Man.
That's him. Yeah. Sorry, mate. But
that's a compliment, right?
He looks like Mario is what he looks like. He's got he loves doing the press.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He fully loves the whole press and the whole process for all that stuff. So he likes taking, I don't know how long it takes, but he likes taking his time doing it as opposed to the instant or the capsule ones. He just can't stand it.
I tried doing that, and it's kind of therapeutic having the routine to it, having a little event, like a little ritual. But the effort, man, too much, too long.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's because I've always just come up with it being simple that I just did that sort of thing was just like, it's just a bit of a.
I'm a lazy dude.
I don't even think it's being lazy. I think it's just convenience. And if you've got time on your side, then you could do it. But otherwise, it's just a bit of a problem. There's a difference for it.
Okay.
I'm the exact same with shaving. I've never done a wet shave.
Never.
No, well, my dad taught me with an electric trimmer, and just ever since I've just used an electric trimmer. So I've yet to teach myself how to do it properly.
That's a good laugh. No, it is getting the foam right, and that's kind of another little ritual thing.
Yeah, I do need to know. I got give for one of my birthdays. I got given a straight razor, and I was like, "Thanks. What am I gonna do with this?"
What, like the cutthroat one?
A cutthroat one, yeah.
I was like, that's too much.
Okay. It was awesome, but I never used it.
This it's like I think they call it a double edge or a safety razor, but you like screw the bits off, and the little separate razor blades you get, just the blade.
Yeah.
That people slit their wrists with. It fits them. And that's quite good. But again, if you don't get it quite right, it's called a safety razor, but
it's not very
it'll
safe.
shred you up. That's quite good. I like using that.
Because all the disposable ones they use in barbers, right? The same thing.
Yeah, kind of like that.
They've got like a little bin by their mirror.
Not like that. Like your Gillette Mac 3s. Although I do have a soft spot for my, like the old razors.
Yeah. No, I do need to do it. But
it takes ages as well doing it that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, because the one I use now is one I copy from Shaq. Because I remember at their old place, I need like a bit of a trim. I use their toilet. I was washing my hands. I see this little thing next to it, and I was like, oh,
that weird green thing he's got.
Yeah. Then I went, Shaq, can I give it a go? He was like, yeah, fine. So I tried it. So it was awesome. It was real close shave. It was lovely. And so I got that. I was like, that's nice.
Never lend you my razor.
You didn't care. I can't be infected or anything. I cleaned it. It's fine.
So what about like your aftershaves and your lotions and your lovely stuff you put on your face?
So I've got, I don't actually know what brand it is. I got like a set for Christmas a while back, and so I'll shave. So at the minute I'm trying to grow this out, so I just do like the neck and the cheeks and the back of the neck and all that sort of shit. So I do that, and then I've got aftershave cream, which just smooths it all down and just conditions it all. And then I've got like beard oil, which just keeps it nice and soft. Otherwise it gets all prickly.
I like having my potions.
Oh, it's good. It's real nice. I hate it when I get it the wrong way around and end up putting like spray on at the last minute. I'm just like
the sting, the Home Alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's never been that bad. It's more like a kind of thing than anything else.
When I first saw that film, I thought, how can it's just put splashed a bit of watery liquid stuff on his face? How can that hurt?
Yeah.
And then when you do use those alcohol.
It's the barber's ones are an extra level because they're like, you ready for something? You're like, cool, and they're like,
it's pure ethanol just on your face.
Just on your back. You're like, oh Jesus. They've never done it on my face because I've just been in the back of the neck where they've done that and they get it done. But I've never had like them spray it here.
That's all right.
I'm tempted. There's a Turkish barbers in Wokingham, or there's one in Reading as well. But I would be very interested because you get the full treatment. You get like a hot towel, head massage kind of shit.
They do the thing with the flames.
What? Well, they're able to burn your hair off.
What? So I've never done it, but my dad came back from the barbers one day, and there's this weird, dodgy Turkish barbers just down the road, and he went there because it was like so close and it's kind of cheap. So he thought, yeah, let's check this out.
Yeah.
And they did the normal Turkish thing, hot towel and the massage and the nice smelling frothy stuff. And then he gets out like a little, like a lighter or something. And he's doing all these tricks. He's got a lighter and some flannel flicking it all about, and that's to like singe all your ear hair and get the ends off.
Okay.
I know, it sounded pretty dangerous. And
yeah, I'm not sure I trust someone with fire around my head.
Yeah. I don't know how much it actually did, or if it was all just for show.
I can appreciate it. I mean, you can kind of appreciate if it was for show. You'd be like, yeah, fair play, mate. That's pretty cool.
To get a lighter close enough to your nose to get the hairs out there to sizzle them off.
Yeah,
it's gonna hurt, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I don't know if I can do that.
I think it was just a bit of theatre.
You do get some which I'm like, you like those haircut videos you get online where they're like, they measure it all out, like geometric precision, and it's all right angles. They cut everything too. It's pretty cool, but you kind of like, it's cool, but then you got to walk around looking like that as well.
I'm in desperate need of a haircut. You can probably tell.
Hey, look good, man.
It's all right.
Just if you like, I can give you what I've done to myself if you want. Just two all over.
There's times when I think, yeah, let's grow it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then there's times I think, this is just really annoying. It takes ages to dry. And then...
Well, yours goes proper curly as well.
You can't... Yeah, it does. You can't do anything with it. Or no, you have to kind of... When you get out of the shower, you have to make sure it's right, because it's not just going to dry nicely in shape. It's just all over the place.
Is it like flatten down here when it's wet and like... And
kind of
drying?
Yeah. You can like comb it in the right way. So otherwise it covers my eyes. It looks a lot shorter than it actually is. But it's...
Oh my god! Yeah, that is pretty long. Yeah, fair play.
It gets so tight and curly, it kind of hides how long it is.
So do you actually? Is that natural, or do you sit there to spend their time curling it?
Nah, this is all me. This is all me.
There's so many women that'd be jealous of you, mate. Just be like, oh, just wake up and just do it.
This is the thing. Everyone hates their hair. So there's people who've got really just ordinary, boring hair. And, I wish I had those curls.
Yeah, I know.
They're glorious curls.
They're like, I'll swap.
For years, people have stopped me like, oh, is that real? Is that natural? People ask me if I've got a perm. No.
Don't they know what a perm
I sit
is,
there with the Marge Simpson
thing on your head,
down at the salon. Then I just can't stand my curls. I just wish... Like, I don't mind a bit of wave, a bit of shape to it, but like when it goes weird and ringlety, when it's just... It'd be nice to wake up in the morning and not have it like...
Yeah.
Bird's nest.
I'm trying to think when I first met you, your hair was... I'm trying to think what that was. It was pretty short. Well, definitely shorter than it is now. I'm trying to think what you did with it.
I would normally keep it quite short on the sides when the barbers was about... Like, yeah, sometimes I go down to a 2 on the back and the sides.
Yeah.
And then a little bit curly on the top, just...
Yeah.
So it wasn't boring.
Yeah.
And even that was a bit of work. I might just go full on... Yeah, I'm like grade 2 all over, just see what happens.
That's what I did 2 weeks ago. This is like a... So my beard's probably a 2 now, and this is probably a 4, I would have thought. By now, maybe 5.
And I've got this, like... I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying to...
We're
a
trying
bit
to...
of sideburn here.
Yeah.
And so you let it grow out, shave it a little bit around the sides,
Yeah.
and let it keep growing and trimming it back.
So what are you trying to get? You trying to get a good old Travolta or an Elvis? What are you trying to get?
Yeah, maybe.
An Elvis.
Oh, maybe I should just get a pomp or
an Elvis
or
would
a
be
quiff.
Cool.
I do like when it is long, like it is now. I do sometimes after a shower, just kind of push it back, comb it back to just get out your face, and for like a brief second, it does look kind of pompy and quiffy, and then the frizz starts. Yeah. Maybe I should just see what happens.
I think you should. Okay, well, I've got a personal question.
Right. Here we go.
If you were to shave your all of it to a 2, where would your hairline be?
It's back. It's far. It's I don't know. Have a look. It's there.
That's not bad actually.
Is it?
No, because it's like a semicircle. That's okay. If it was like a straight line, that'd be a problem. That's not too bad. Actually.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
I think it's really it's quite far back.
Yeah, it's not as far forward as some people's are, but that's actually not too bad, you know.
Look, I'm bald now.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So it's not far from Josh, to be fair.
Sometimes I don't know. Josh is a...
Well, he's got strange hair anyway.
He's an exemption, isn't he?
In everything, he's the exemption. he's just an anomaly.
That is it.
You hear that, Josh? You're a fucking anomaly, mate. All right.
Is he the youngest?
No, I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest.
So it's me, Josh, Shaq, you.
I think I've got the best hairline out of... I don't actually know Shaq's, but it's hard to tell.
Yeah, because he shaves all. You're there like, he's a perfect oval. Like his hair hasn't changed, whereas mine's definitely come back over the years, and so has Josh's. But I think Josh's started quite early.
I reckon I'll go bald when I'm older.
This is why I'm tempted, because I started my hair. I had like a full. My hairline was like here, and my hair was all really, really thick. But my last job, I got loads of stress out of it, and my hair started like I itched my head, and it started like my hair started to thin. Oh. So I got like this patch is really, really thin, and it always goes back really thin. And so I'm thinking like if stress keeps doing that, I'm just gonna go all bald and just be like screw it, because there's no point trying to hang on to it.
Bald with a beard.
Yeah, man.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, I'll do bald with a beard.
Good look.
I'll do that. There was a dude in the cute one of the guys at work. He's done the same thing over quarantine because his hair goes like an afro, and he went solid. So he just did a 1 all over. No, it's been a proper like bald for himself. So he just did like skin all the way over, and we were like, yeah, we should grow it out, leave the top and grow out the face. And there was a guy in the queue to get into Apple, real big dude, polished like bowling ball of a head and a massive beard. I was like, nice. It looked pretty cool. I was like, that's cool.
It's good. It's a bold look, but
Yeah.
if you got the facial hair for it, go for it.
Well,
And you do. I think you've got.
Well, this is taking me 3 years to get here. To get like this. Actually,
3 years of not shaving.
Actually, no. Yeah, okay. 3 years of cultivating, not 3 years of flat out no shaving. Right. Okay, but to trim it back and grow it and trim it and grow and long and everything from there. But in lockdown, I got it to about 2 inches in length.
Wow.
And then I trimmed it all off. That's when I saw you guys again. So. I should have kept it, shouldn't I?
I wanted to see that.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm getting there again. Like it got so bad that my hair was all over the place. I had to get a beard comb just to keep it flat. And so I'm almost there again.
So much upkeep.
I quite enjoy it, mate. I quite enjoy it. You know.
Efforts needed for doing little things again now is.
Well, now there's actually.
Isn't life just annoying? Have to comb your beard and.
Yeah, says us on not doing this, complaining about it.
You know, if that's our biggest problem,
life's about fucking good.
My beard is a bit too bushy, and I've got curly hair. Shit.
Oh man, life is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Yeah, hell yeah. Well, how have you found it getting back to some sort of routine?
It's all right. It's all right. Like you moving around, like public transport and going to the shops and stuff like that. Still. With these new processes they got, it's a bit annoying, but it's not too difficult, really. Yeah. If you're happy to just chill out and you might have to wait, fine, it's good. Wearing face masks when you have to sucks a bit. They're not too comfortable. I guess it depends which face mask you have, but.
And I think it's interesting looking at different companies' policies because with you guys, all of you, all the time, mandatory. With us, we literally got a sign out the back because this is paperwork they gave us, and it says, "Wear a face mask if you think the person you're in contact with has symptoms."
Right.
And so we're like, we ain't bloody wearing it because no one who has symptoms is going to leave the house.
Oh yeah, if you got symptoms,
yeah, you're not leaving the house. And it's the same thing.
Go anywhere. Yeah.
It's the same thing with the trains. I was literally on the train the other day, and most people are wearing it except me and like 2 other people. And
it's not that you should be wearing it on the train.
Huh?
It's the law, isn't it, to wear it on a public transport?
I literally nod and say hi to all of the staff and Twyford and in Reading, and they're like, "Morning." They don't say a word.
So the staff wearing them?
Yeah, but people don't say a word, and I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. If it was the law,
only
I'm
one
sure,
stop, isn't it? You'll be alright.
Yeah, and also if it was the law, I'm sure people would say, "Sorry, you can't get on this." I mean, even have police nod at me while I'm there, and they're like, "All right," and I'm like,
"Great,
cool, but all right." But I'm just like, yeah, and if you've so in the station there's like a sign on the left that says wear a mask, and on the right it says don't travel if you'll have symptoms. So I was there like.
Obvious, right?
What? But it's just like, okay, so I'm wearing a mask to avoid only. I need to be wearing a mask if someone has symptoms, but if I'm on the train and they're not allowing people to travel if they have symptoms, so it's like, what's the point? So you do one or the other, like.
If everyone's healthy,
you wouldn't need a mask,
right?
Yeah, and you're getting like more and more shit coming out and be like, oh, those who are asymptomatic don't pass it on because it's passed on by. Coughing, which is a symptom. If you don't have a symptom, you don't have coughing, you start passing it on. It's just like, I don't know. As soon as someone tells me to put it on, I'll put it on. But I'm just there like, fucking police haven't said a word, so I'm not doing it.
It's annoying. They're annoying little things, but I kind of get why you have to wear them. Like in little enclosed areas on the underground. Sure. But also you may not know if you have it or not.
Oh, definitely.
So
definitely.
I can see why it'd be useful to have a mask then. But as soon as I don't have to wear a mask, once I'm off the bus, once I'm out of work, I'm whipping that thing off, and it's
and it depends. Yeah, like when you saw me the other day, and like you see from all of your customers, they only wear a mask when you come into the store, whereas literally no one in the 4 days that I've been back. No customers want a mask, and no one gives a shit. They're just like, yeah, just measure me, pin me. I'm like, we're supposed to get like loads of gloves and a visor, like so that when we're handling clothes and pinning people and stuff, we can maintain that. I haven't received it, and no one cares. So it's like, cool, crack on and whatever.
given the choice, I wouldn't.
Mm.
But I think I would, if you keep your distance enough and hopefully washing your hands, all that kind of stuff. Don't let anyone cough in your mouth.
Make sure, let no one spit in your mouth. You'll be fine.
Should be okay. But do you know anyone who's got it?
Nope.
No, me neither.
Nope. No one. I think Josh said something vaguely about his old aunt. His mum's aunt got it or something.
Right.
Was that a one?
Yeah. There's a bit on the BBC website, and you can put in your postcode or put in the town you live, and it will show you all the cases nearby. And Reading, it's not that bad actually. We're doing all right.
Well, me and my mate Matt, he works in the NHS in Prospect Park. I speak to him once, twice a week, and I spoke to him a couple of days ago, and he was saying that they haven't had a case there for 7 weeks.
Wow, that's a long time.
And the same with robots as well. One of my friend's mums works there. She's like, it's gone back to normal now.
It's like I can't remember the exact number, but I think it's less than 200 deaths in the whole thing.
Yeah,
in Reading anyway.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, but just think, and that's over. Okay, so that's over 3 months. Think how many deaths there would have been in general over that time, and of what. That would be interesting to see, because I don't know what that number would be.
I'm sure there's a way you can find out.
I'm sure. Well, for this year, I don't know, because I tried to look at comparison for flus and just general deaths, and it goes, the nearest I could find was 2015, 16. I might not have been looking very well, but I was trying to just have a comparison to see what's the annual death for general shit is. But I don't know.
General shit.
Who died of general shit? It's a
cause of death.
General shit.
General shit.
It's a bad thing.
So face masks kind of annoying. Work isn't too bad. We're in a lot less just to kind of keep people spread out. So I'm only doing 3 or 4 shifts a week. That's quite nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
And having everyone queuing up outside is quite nice as well.
I guess it's easy to maintain, because who they got, how are they managing sort of the queue? Because I've seen you lot going up and down talking to people.
Yeah, we've all kind of been doing it slightly differently. So we've very recently set on a standard, but basically if you want to get in a shop, you join the queue. When someone's ready, then whoever is there should be some people, 2 or 3 at the queue, checking out people. If it's worth their while, join the queue and letting them know how long the wait is, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then when it is their turn, bringing them into the store. Sometimes there might be a long wait if it's a very specific thing that requires a specific person. They may have to, it's like you make appointments at that place.
Yeah, of course.
So they might leave and come back, but even that's fine. I think we're the biggest queue in the shopping centre.
Oh yeah. Well, I think you're the only queue. I don't think anyone else has. Well, actually, no, Nespresso does, but I think that's it. I don't think anyone else has a queue.
I've seen a couple of other stanchions and things set up, but yeah, it's you see a few people in there. Boots, actually no, Boots. You see people waiting outside there, maybe in the morning, trying to get in.
In the morning I see it, but whenever I'm walking past, there's never people just walking in and out.
Once they're open, you can fly in and out. Yeah.
Well, we've got a capacity of 12 customers, they told us, which is, that's a pretty busy day. That's two wedding parties typically, so that's pretty busy.
Not that weddings are happening right now, right?
Not now. It's the people that have moved their dates back, or they've already had it from July onwards. They're coming in now, so we've got. It's been good. It's been steady. It's been so people making appointments to come in. Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. It's been.
Weird.
It's quiet. It's still quiet as hell, but the upside is that when people come in, they're pretty much guaranteed to spend money, because no one's going to come out just for the hell of it. And if they do, they're not going to be in the Oracle when it's good weather. They'll be out and about, not inside.
Fair.
Yeah, not too bad. But the routine's nice. And as you said, it's reduced hours, so it's 12 till 6. So
that's nice.
Easy.
less hours, less days.
Yeah. And more opportunities to do stuff like this. Though what is annoying is that head office has told me that I've only allowed they're giving me Tuesday and Wednesday off every week for the foreseeable future. That's the same thing every week. So it's a bit annoying trying to liaise with you guys, because in retail as well, you alternate when you're going to be off, which is a bit irritating, but beyond that, it's fine.
It's been quite easy actually to arrange rehearsals with you lot and when you're free this day. Oh yeah, me too. It's a lot easier than I thought it was.
Yeah, especially if we do it all in the evening, rehearsals and piece of piss. We should do a day one, actually.
Yeah, we could do.
Do a day one.
I think Josh is working today, so it couldn't have been today, but
yeah,
we should have done it today.
That was fun last time. That was good.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
You maybe better bring my SBD, because otherwise I'm going to be
an angry man.
Yeah, I almost feel like there's no point in me taking anything else except that. Almost.
Was he done with it?
So I gave it to him so he could put because I bought it back in February. I still haven't. I've uploaded one new thing to it, but I gave it to him to say, look, mate, you just play around with it. Because obviously he's starting to teach himself, and I thought, you've got all the equipment, just download it and just
pack it with stuff.
See what he might. I don't know if he has, but if not, it's fine. But if he does, that'd be cool.
How does it work? Can you just stick stuff on a memory card?
Yeah,
and I could hand you that memory card.
Yeah, you can download it that way. So you can I'd have to put it onto here, and then there's a system. You can do it that way. So you can do it as a software, which is basically just a pad that assigns it all, where you type in the number of what you of which track's the wrong word, but okay. So you've got all the different sets. So there's 9 things you can
pads.
Pads is the wrong word. I don't know. But
triggers.
So you got one of those sets like that, and then it goes. They've got 15 that are pre-set into it, and then you just keep adding and for infinity, pretty much. So you use the software, plug it in, say, oh, this is going to be setting 19, and then you just say, cool, I want to drag and drop wherever you want. So you find the sounds you do stems or whatever you want, and just put it in.
Then.
But it's cool because it's as we found, it's not just the drums you can put on it. So I can have you doing a bass thing, chuck it on there, and that'll go on forever, or I can do that and just keep hitting it. So it's almost endless fun with that.
That's where it's going to get interesting.
Very interesting. Because I could almost do you could almost do an intro of. It doesn't even have to be me. It can be anyone on the SPD, and just do an intro just by themselves, just using that, and just all builds up and builds up and builds up.
I'll blow people's minds when they
just see this one dude in the middle,
see stuff and hear stuff that they don't expect.
Yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be an awesome start, actually. If we just have you on the pad, real dark, middle of the stage, and just slowly just build up the whole thing, just hitting bits, and that'd be sick.
That'd be rad.
That would be sick.
We don't need all written. Just 4 of those, one each.
Yeah,
and get rid of all the instruments.
That would be interesting. I'm trying to think with what, because Friendly Fires, when we saw them, definitely had one.
Yeah, they would have.
Definitely, but they had 3 different drum kits, so I'm sure they would have.
The dudes from Royal Blood have one.
Mm-hmm. Well, they need it. There's only 2 of them.
There's only 2 of them.
Yeah.
I think it's for. I watched the interview with the drummer talking about his stuff, and it's not for backing tracks or extended bits or even little drum samples, but it's for little vocal parts for harmonies and things like that.
That's quite cool.
Especially if you've listened to the second album, the guy he does way more exciting stuff with his singing and harmonies. But translating that live when there's one singer is a bit more difficult. And he doesn't actually play the device, the SPD. He's got triggers built around the rims of his drums.
Well, then they play it,
and so he's just drumming.
Yeah,
and he's got them carefully placed out.
Yeah,
so that while he's playing his beats and playing his parts, you can just kind of just give them a little flick for
cool.
where he normally would be playing his beat.
That's very cool.
Just to trigger a little kind of thing. It looks really neat.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I've been do you know Nookie by Limp Bizkit?
Oh yeah.
I've been obsessed. I found it ages ago. I just stumbled onto it, and it was it was 1994. Their Woodstock set.
Yeah.
And the crowd is just you can't see the end of it. That's how big the crowd was on Woodstock. You're like, what the fuck? but they do a nookie, and I just love it because it's about 10 minutes long, the intro, because the mic's screwed up, so Fred can't speak, and he's trying to talk to people, they can't hear anything, and it's just the drum and the bass just going over and over and over.
Nice.
But it's awesome. He does like little twist. The John Archer, the drummer, does little twists to the beat, and it's just it's such a sick beat. I've just found loads of different variations of their intros, and there's one where they did in Budapest like 5 years ago. It's so good. But there's and partly why it's so awesome is I realised that there's the main beat for that intro is a drum machine, and then the drummer does stuff over the top of it, so he adds more hi-hats and extra beats to it.
Right.
But you can see, because the cameraman pays more attention to the DJ doing it, and you see him just like, I don't know what it is, if it was like a TriCaster or whatever that he's doing it on, but he's pressing all the buttons to make the beat go, and it's so good. It's just so cool.
I'd love to see Limp Bizkit live.
I saw them. When did I see them? 16. I saw them.
Wow.
Amazing.
Where was that?
Amazing. It was a running festival. Yeah, me and my mate we went, and there was so many. They were in a tent for some dumb reason, but there was so many people in there that when one person fell over, everyone fell over. It was so good. It's so good.
I suppose they are getting on a bit. Stick them in the tent.
Still,
you know,
they still couldn't fit everyone in the tent, like, because they are so good live.
Like 11-year-old me would have loved it, I'm sure,
mate. Yeah, once Geeks coming back, I'm definitely gonna try and see them again, and especially it's supposed to be bloody Rage this year. But no, little fuckers.
I saw them at Reading.
What?
Well, last time they played.
Oh,
yeah,
you prick.
This was they reformed.
Yeah.
Just before they broke up again.
Yeah.
This was like a year or two before the old Christmas #1 thing.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. It must have been like 2007 or 8.
When was Christmas #1? That was. Yeah, when was that? 10, 11?
Oh wow.
That was a while back.
Like 10. It probably was about 10 years ago actually.
Yeah, I thought it was quite recent. But I remember, yeah, it must have been. Yeah,
nah, it's long ago now.
Yeah, it must have been.
But anyway, they were at a festival and they came out with they were dressed up in these like orange jumpsuits and sacks on their heads, like prisoners at Guantanamo would have.
Yeah. I've seen them do that.
And then they played their first song, still with the sacks on their heads.
Oh,
just going in. I think it might be in Handstand Parade on what they opened with, and it was crazy. It erupted.
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
It was so good, and that was another moment that like 10, 11-year-old Andrew would have been like,
yeah,
come on, this is great.
Well, this is why you would have loved to see Limp Bizkit on our song, because they did a cover of Killing in the Name.
Nice.
It was so good. It was incredible how they did it. Because have you heard their guitarist Wes Borland play at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, like even just him by
he's
himself.
Quite good.
Oh,
he's quite good.
He's so good. I'm sure technically he's average, but it's just the sounds he comes out with. You're like, what in the hell have you done to come out with that sound? Again, that's coming from me. I don't know shit about guitars or anything, but he's just cool. He's just real cool.
Although he's got from that kind of era, that new metal era, all the guitarists I think get a bit of a bad rep because it's sounds like simple stuff. If you like listen to stuff off of Hybrid Theory, first Linkin Park album, there's loads of just sustained chords. The guy hits the chord. 4 beats later, you might play a different chord. There's not a lot going on, and it's just lots of 7-string and drop tunings and chords you can play with one finger. So it's very easy to say that looks very easy. It's very simple, but a lot of those guys can play. If you listen to it by himself, or if you listen to them playing outside of a band, just kind of noodling around. Yeah, those guys can play. They are good.
Well, the Linkin Park's an interesting example because all of their songs is the same formula. It's 4 chords.
Yeah.
And it will be, I'm trying to think, it'll start off and then it will go, I'm trying to think like what number example will go, and then it'll go up and then down again and then repeat. So it's like up, so it's like, it's hard to describe, but every single song is the same.
It's like that classic pop song.
Yeah, but it's not the same chords, but it's the same format. So it'd be like, I don't know, it would be the first, the fifth, the third, and then the 4 or something like
Be
that.
the spaces in between those chords.
Yeah. So, but
Are the same,
where-
even if the chords might be different.
yeah. So that's So obviously that's not accurate what I've said, but it's the same. Exact,
I understand what you mean.
It's the same layout with every single song. But it doesn't matter because they've for them specifically they've made it work, and that's them. So everyone knows that stuff, and there's a.
But every song doesn't
incredible
sound
band.
the same, which
No.
is good. Because
Yeah,
there's loads of bands who are guilty of that, of having a formula, but then
Yeah.
you kind of recognise that formula.
It's not even a formula; it's just a sound that sounds different. Because Royal Blood, while they are good, a lot unless you listen to a lot of their songs sound really similar. But that's just because of the sound is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what other new metal was. Would you say Korn's new metal?
Yeah.
Yeah, Korn is new. Yeah, because they have a DJ, don't they? Do they?
Don't have to do. They had an
I do.
album when dubstep was huge.
Yes,
They
I
did
remember
a-
that.
they did a
They
dubstep
did it with
album.
Skrillex, yeah.
Yeah.
That was quite good, actually.
So-
I enjoyed that.
That's probably the closest they got to having a DJ.
Bloody dubstep.
That's actually a good album.
It is good. They did two with Skrillex as well.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's a
Surprisingly good. Real good.
We'll listen to that later.
Yeah. We'll listen to the Noise Studio.
Yeah.
With Skrillex, I can't remember what band we looked up years ago when we were huge fans of him. He was a screamo artist.
Damn, yeah.
He was quite good, but he just ruined his throat, so he stopped and became an EDM dude. Would you say that was EDM for what he does?
Yeah.
That's all a bit hazy.
Well, it's a EDM is a very general term, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just electro.
So anything that's electronic and makes people dance.
It's
EDM,
arguably EDM, yeah.
So yeah, he is. But then when you get into like subgenres,
It gets so confusing.
I know, right?
Yeah, so confusing.
Some people love it. Some people love the
It's what
intricacies of.
What annoyed me? House annoyed me for so long, for a very long time. House annoyed me. Still
Like,
does.
that-
Does my head.
What's annoying about house?
It's just the pop house really pisses me off because it's just the same. It's the same inane bullshit. Like at least with some dubstep ones, the drop is usually. So say if you like drum and bass, the drop is going to be the best part of it. Dubstep's the other way around. So the build up is the best part.
Yeah.
So the verses are usually really musical. And you're like, that's a really good voice, it's really good tuning, and then it will just go devolve into nonsense. Whereas house will have a really good verse and really good build up, and then just be inane crap. And it's just like there's no substance here. It was just like it could have been really good. And it's just like
It's it's quite poppy and commercial.
yeah.
And this is the problem I have with that kind of music, that it's all very fickle. And there'll be one amazing song, and 2 weeks later it doesn't matter because all the DJs are playing some other amazing song. And like you could think back 2 or 3 years, what EDM songs were huge back then? It's kind of forgotten about, really. There's your big names. You'd remember.
You'd have your Avicii.
Your
Stuff.
Aviciis.
Yeah, so anything like him would have been memorable. Calvin Harris, David Guetta took. Well, David Guetta kind of got downhill, but Calvin and same with Calvin Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years ago for them, I would have said.
And the way that they release music, there's very little albums flying around. It's just
it's singles,
track and track and track and
yeah.
track and track, and it all kind of just merges into one.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because
Yeah.
True by Avicii came out in 2014, I think. Yeah, would have been around that sort of time, and that was awesome. That was really good, but that was quite different because they started on a lot like one of them started off like it was a it was very similar to that, and you're like that's actually quite cool. But then he just turned it into you then just put a 4/4 beat to it, and it actually worked really well. But he was, I mean, obviously a tragic story, but he was a genuinely really good musician.
He was
really good.
He knew his stuff.
Yeah. You start with a list like that, you get him. Just Chester obviously is number one.
Yep.
Amy Winehouse gets thrown around a lot, but I don't really know her very well, so I couldn't really comment.
You don't know Amy Winehouse very well.
No, I know who she was, but I couldn't.
You are mates.
I listened. No, I'm not close. Not anymore. No, but I listened. I never listened to her out of choice. It would just be, oh, that's Amy Winehouse playing or whatever.
Yeah, same. Like vocal music, where the vocals are front and center and very, very important, and it's all about the talent and that kind of thing. I'm not a big fan. I don't know why. Like, I appreciate a good vocalist, but the same with Adele.
Yep.
Same with.
Yep, I feel you. Any of those pop, I think most pop stuff like that is very vocal driven.
People like a sing along, don't they?
Yeah.
It's probably very accessible as well. When someone like plays incredibly well on a piano, there's a lot of people that I think couldn't tell the difference between a good piano player and a really fucking good piano player.
And someone who's just average. That's an interesting point, yeah.
But then when it comes to vocalists, I think it's very easy to see where someone's really super talented and really not.
Yeah, I think I think it's because it is for the vocalists, because they are using their voice. That's something that everyone uses. So you try and make sound out of it. If someone tries to copy it, they're like, "Oh shit, this is hard. I can't do that." That's an interesting point, actually. Yeah, more relatable, more trying to achieve that.
Yeah, and like anyone anywhere can just start,
get drunk and try to sing along with
try singing. And so you might know how difficult it is to sing.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you can practice and become a good singer, or is it just something that you're born with? Like the colour of your hair and how tall you are and that kind of stuff, you're born with it, and there's ways you can kind of change it, but you're not really changing it. When you dye your hair's still brown, it's just covered in blonde stuff.
I think you can be taught to do it. Like you can obviously get vocal coaches, which will teach you to. The little I understand from singing is that the power comes from your diaphragm, not from your throat.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can be taught like your breathing technique and how to project from like I don't know. I imagine you could get to a certain point. I'm sure there's a certain part of it which is you either are good or you're not.
Is that just teaching someone to make best use of what they have? Because
I don't know.
Your body is built in a way you can't make your vocal cords a better quality. You can't get a different tone out of them. Yeah. You can only do what you can do.
I think it's different to like drums or guitar. Like drums, I could take anyone and give them enough time, I could teach them to be good. Yeah. And same with you with guitar, you could teach me to be good, for example, given 20 years for me probably. But with vocals, I think it's different because it's not just this, because you've got to use oxygen and breathing and projection. Like the perfect example of what you were talking about with the capability is Tom from Third Lung. He was born with a physically bigger lungs. He has a birth defect, so it means he can absorb and retain more oxygen. So that's why when we saw him, he has a
super powerful voice.
He has stupid power, like
sustain forever.
Yeah, the sustain and the pitch, and you're there like, but it also means he can run for ages because he just has that bigger oxygen flow.
How is that a defect? How is
defect? Yeah, it's an anomaly, so it's technically a defect. But yeah, I mean, he was born with physically fucking bigger lungs, which is awesome. he's a legit mutant.
I love it.
Yeah, I think you're right in that respect. I think there is a physiological limit because of imagine someone with asthma. They're never gonna be able to sing.
You could buy a new drum and all of a sudden you've got different sounding drums.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to sing like Amy Winehouse, there's no way that could happen. It's impossible. I could imitate her. Yeah. I could have someone teach me how to sing like her. But at the end of the day,
never do the same.
We've got different voices and different bodies.
Yeah. And you've got Adam's apple, so your voice is going to be deeper than hers. That is an interesting point with vocals. Yeah.
I don't think there's another instrument like that.
No.
Right.
Well, you could, with lung capacity, any woodwind.
Oh, yeah.
Any
True.
woodwind or brass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a similar thing, but that's more about breathing and expelling air as opposed to actually generating noise from here, because the noise comes from there. It's just the force behind it. So apparently, what they I'm going to get it the wrong way around, but the people who are really good at woodwind instruments are really good swimmers.
Yeah.
Because it's the breathing. I think they train to they go swimming underwater and hold their breath as long as they can, because that means they can breathe longer for the instrument. It's probably the other way around.
No, I've heard something like that. Like famous jazz musicians would practice in the shower. I don't know how true this is, but they'd practice in the shower.
The fuck?
So thinking about it, this might be nonsense.
Oh no, I like it. Keep going. Give me the logic behind it.
Why would that be any different? But you're in the shower and you're directly under the water, where you can't just breathe when you're got this water coming down on your head.
Yeah.
Because then you swallow loads of water.
Mm.
And so they would practice their breathing techniques in the shower. This is totally wrong.
I like it. Hey mate,
No.
let's do it.
This is one of those stories that I've missed the whole point. I've heard something and totally forgotten what it was, and I've just made up a new story in my brain, or it's just false.
Mate, you are aware that this is now, you've made this, it's going to live forever now in posterity. You've recorded this for all time. This now analogy.
This is going on the internet.
This is going to be on forever.
Haunt me forever. Great.
Just redoing jazz musicians.
Jazz is cool, man. I'll start getting into jazz.
I like doing the drumming for it. Like I like a 5/4 or a shuffle, but the actual listening to it, I've got a while to go before I enjoy that.
You've got the wrong jazz. There's jazz is like its own thing. There should be music, which is, there's a rock, and there's pop, and there's country, there's metal, then there's jazz. Jazz is its own. It's like, not a genre. Jazz is its own art form.
It's a thing, yeah.
And there's so much to it. And when you say jazz, it's that's not narrow at all, really. If I say listen to jazz, that could be 10 different things you could be listening to. That's
how would you subdivide jazz?
Ooh, you're challenging me now.
For the listeners out there, like myself, who know fuck all about it.
I really like the really hot swinging stuff from like the 40s.
Okay.
Where there's just, it's so upbeat and it's so swing and it's so cool. Then there's like your mellow jazz quartet. You're in a cocktail bar and some guy's just whittling away on his piano.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
With a double bass in the background.
Yeah, fair play.
Boom. And then there's like your weird, wacky jazz, like in the 70s and the 60s. I think all that traditional jazz stuff got a bit boring.
So would that be Miles Davis kind of stuff, or was that later? Was that earlier on?
Miles Davis was like, he's interesting because you can see him change. You can see him get bored of just playing your normal jazz standards and like, I need to get wacky now. And then he just goes off the rail and time signatures and keys just all out the window, and people are playing different things at the same time, and and then they like mixed it up with funk and kind of some almost, I don't know, for lack of a better word, rock, and that's what fusion is, where it's really weird. Like if you listen to all like the incidental music in Nintendo games, right? If you listen to the intro music to Mario Kart, that is jazz fusion.
Okay.
Imagine it in your head.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
That's jazz fusion, and it's wacky.
There's a lot of funk there as well.
Yeah.
I can see that.
It's really hard to categorize that music, so they just call it fusion, where it's like it's mixes of all sorts of stuff.
So when you guys talk to me or play me in the bloody Mario Kart soundtrack, you actually educate me on jazz. Is that right?
Yeah, maybe. That's what it is. Jazz.
I'm trying to expand my musical education.
And there's because there's so many different instruments that can play jazz, that lends itself to different sounds that you're hearing as well. Like a jazz guitarist, their kind of songs would be completely different to jazz trumpeter. So Miles Davis stuff is going to sound way different to Where's Montgomery, even though
Dave Brubeck,
they might be playing the same exact stuff. They might have the same song in their set list, but when they perform it, having the lead on a trumpet sounds way different to a lead on something else. And there's loads of different ways you can make up a band. When you see a typical rock and pop band, they might have a couple of guitarists and a bass player and a drummer. Yeah. Maybe a keyboard player doing some funky sounds. Yeah. But those 3, 4, 5-piece bands, they're very set.
Very typical.
Since the Beatles, that kind of predictable band makeup has been very similar. Maybe even before the Beatles. But jazz, there isn't one. There's no formula to a band of jazz.
Whatever you happen to play.
Even a jazz quartet, 4 people getting together and playing jazz, they might have there might just be 4 woodwind players one day, and then some strings and a drummer the next day. It's there's no formula to jazz.
It's a very interesting whole style from drums as well, because the drums it's timing kind of, but it's more about toning it all back, making it softer and making it an instrument, as opposed to just being something that keeps the beat. Because like you switch it from sticks to brushes, and then you get all these different fills and these off times and these different grips and everything. Is fascinating. It's very interesting.
It's way different. It's very hard to learn when as music as I've known since I've started playing music. When you've played your more commercial kind of stuff, jazz is very like they use totally different chords. And it's very
diminished sevenths and all that crap.
All these major ninths and
these
jazzy sounding chords, and it's very unpredictable. So listening to that 3-4 chord formula song that a band might use frequently, I could probably work out a song by most pop bands by listening to it and playing along and figuring it out. Jazz, nah.
Yeah, it's a whole
I
other
could never
animal.
do that.
Yeah, a whole other animal for that. It would be interesting to learn. It's also not one of those things that you could learn that off the cuff. You'd have to learn pop or rock or classical first, and then discover what jazz is. You couldn't go in at jazz.
I don't know. Like
I don't
people must have done it though.
Really? I would have thought someone to originate it would have been like a classical upbringing, musical education. So you would have learned, violin. You would have learned piano. You would have learned not even guitar. I've never seen a jazz guitar.
Yeah, jazz guitar.
But you would have learned. I would have thought you would have learned the basis of your instrument first, and then you would have been exposed to this. I don't think it's something you could teach. You've got to try and figure out yourself. I don't think you could teach jazz. Again, you know more about it than I do. It's just from my limited understanding of it.
But like the pioneers of jazz, surely they started jazz and they would have made it up though. I suppose
Yeah, you would, and they would have. It's been constant exploration, and I highly doubt there would have been, because the essence of teaching people things is copying. It's like I'm learning to copy what you're doing because you've done it already. Whereas jazz, I can't see that being the same thing.
That it must have taken a very long time to evolve. No one first woke up in the morning and thought, right, let's make some jazz. I'm going to invent jazz today.
That's not what happened. Yeah.
It would have been long evolving over time and eventually got there. Check it out, jazz.
I think that's a good time and way to end that with check it out, jazz.
Check it out, jazz.
Well, thanks for that, mate. I appreciate you coming for episode 4.
It's fun to be here.
It was all good.
What's the time?
Yeah, quarter.
Oh,
Good time to wrap it all up.
Doesn't time fly?
It does, especially when you're having fun. It's all good. All right, cool. Well, hopefully whoever chooses to listen to this enjoys it and learns a little something about jazz. I know I certainly did.
All 4 listens.
I said that
You're gonna love it.
One last one I said there'll be 3 listens. This is gonna be the way you get a listen per episode.
I listened. Well, I listened to like the start. I had you on in the background.
Yeah.
You'll get my full attention when you crack out some good episodes.
Yeah.
Shaq listened.
Shaq, Cross. I've got
3 people.
I've got See what happens.
Didn't even listen to it yourself, did you?
Doesn't matter. I have.
Submit before even. Nah. Yeah, I'm sure it's
fine.
I'm
sure it's fine. It's just whole blank section of just no noise, just blank. All right, cool. See you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye.